Welcome to season 2 of the What to Say TV show. I am so excited because this season is going to be even more exciting, more fun, and even more entertaining. We're hoping to make it better than season 1. We'll have a fantastic lineup. There will be lots of guests waiting for you, and I'm going to be getting them to reveal their tips and tricks and even some of their secrets. Whether you are a business leader, an entrepreneur, or public speaker, or whether you just want to learn more how to communicate more effectively, this show is for you. So join me and keep watching so that you can learn what to say. Good afternoon, good day, and good morning wherever you are, because it is time for the What to Say TV show, and I want to welcome you to this show where we explore all things communication. I'm your host, DrJulee, and I'm a best-selling author, leadership expert, and coach. We're going to talk all things communication today. We're going to master the skill of not only knowing what not to say, what to say, but how to say it. We want to create a connection with anyone, and we want to set our tone of a conversation for success. Today, we have a wonderful guest. She is Nevena. Nevena is an international coach and sales strategist. So I want to have her introduce herself because we want to get to know her better, and we're going to learn the mastery of sales in your business. So welcome, Nevena, and I'm so glad to have you on our What to Say TV show.
Thank you so much, DrJulee. It's a pleasure being here with you. And we had the pleasure of sharing the stage and speaking on stage together and working together, getting to know each other. Thank you everyone who listening today and tuning in today to this episode. I am Nevena Bazalac, and I am a business consultant and sales strategist and supporting businesses and companies to go to the next level through helping them with their operations, professional consultancy, training, sales training. And today we're going to jump in and talk about sales. I'm also an author. I am an entrepreneur with different businesses in different industries. So I'm going to share a lot of my experience today with you. And yes, let's dive into it, DrJulee.
Well, it's so nice to have you here. And as you can tell, I only pick out the guests that have experience and all the things that you need to know so that you'll know what to say. So first question for you, Nevena, as someone that really understands sales, let's talk about the 3 simple things that you can do to improve your sales. I mean, we're going to start right in front. We know that there's so many things that we could pick out, but just give me your top 3.
Absolutely. First one is communication. You have to improve your message and how clearly you communicate what you are selling. Second one, I would definitely say it's become an expert, an authority in your field, which means you're not selling, but you're advising people. And a third one is building your confidence. You have to, and part of confidence is changing your mindset around sales and building your confidence in who you are as a person, overcoming those negative beliefs. That's going to help you go straight forward.
That is excellent. And what a great answer, because I think if you all are out there and you're taking notes, these are the things that are going to be things you can develop on your own skills. So Nevena, when we think about sales, we think about, I hate to say it, at least in America, it's all about sort of like the dirty little secret. Nobody wants to be sold to. Everybody wants to buy. So how do you create that rapport and relationship as to how you want that person to buy from you, but you don't want to sound salesy or preachy or whatever? So give us a couple of thoughts about that particular topic.
Absolutely, DrJulee. So it's very important to, like I said, change the mindset. And one thing I love to do is in that process of changing people's mindset and actually coaching them is helping them understand that sales is adding value. When people buy from you, they gonna you are adding value to them. They're buying a product or service that's adding value. So if you have a skill or a knowledge and you're not sharing it with someone else, you're doing that person a disservice. So you should start enjoying and loving what you're selling, believe in it, and that's going to create a completely different vibe. I'm sure you're going to agree with me, completely different vibe around you that people are going to be attracted to get to know you and know what you're doing.
Yeah, that's so true. When we think about developing our communication skills, and we think about interacting with someone in a sales situation, we're actually doing more of the giving than we are of anything else. So expect that you are a good salesperson and are able to develop your skills. And so therefore, we're going to take a short break. And we're back with the What to Say TV show with Nevena. And Nevena, I so appreciate you and all that you do. You are a sales professional. So tell us what things that you think that a new sales professional needs to learn, because and I'm going to make this comment as well. If you are a sales professional, not only are you a beginner, okay, you're always, no matter if you're a sales expert, you're still a beginner. There's always something you can learn and something you can grow and develop. So give us 2 or 3 things that you think are so important to the sales process.
First one is absolutely, the first one definitely is knowing your product or service, understanding the benefits of it. And I always focus on the problem you're solving with that problem and service, right? How are you adding value and how are this helping that person? It's not about you, it's not about your company, it's about that person. That's the first one. Second one, I would say, is build a relationship. You would be surprised, small things that I do, like memorizing people's birthday or writing down my client's birthday, saying happy birthday. It brought me millions of dollars in sales because people say, oh, I cannot believe you remember this. Finding a way to stay in touch, remember some personal details about that person. And very important, having that follow-up system so you continue being and having that relationship with people so they can buy from you in the future, even if they haven't bought yet.
Yeah, I think that is an excellent point, because we can all learn something in the sales process. And most of the time, it's learning about the humanness of the person, being authentically real, developing that interaction and rapport. What's the first 3 things that you do when you first meet somebody?
Yes, great question. Thank you so much. So I would definitely say, of course, you have to introduce yourself, obviously, who you are. It can be a phone call, it can be someone inquiring about something. And the second one is asking that person why they inquire or why are they there, right? It's going to be a situation we're going to ask you, what is that you're looking for? How can we help you? What can we do for you? So you have to show that you're of service. That's the second thing. And third thing is you have to, again, I'm emphasizing this, position yourself as an expert by advising them. And if they say something and you say, all right, let me explain you what is happening in the market, or let me explain you how this works, let me explain how this will happen, help you and why you have that problem, for example, or that challenge. Now you are advising them, you're adding value, and it's just gonna be like, oh wow, I'm speaking with someone who is an expert. And you have to be on the same level with them in a way. They cannot look down on you. You cannot sell if they're looking down on you. They have to you have to build that respect very quickly, and you're gonna do that by positioning yourself as an expert. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. What's the one thing that you do not do when you are selling? In other words, is there anything in terms of your body language, your speech rate, your speech, your, and I know let's talk a little bit, let's divide that up and say, what are the things you wouldn't do with an American prospect, and what are the things that you would not do with a Middle Eastern, because that's where you live in Dubai. So tell us the two different things, because a lot of people do not understand that there is a world of difference in selling in America, US, and selling overseas, specifically in a Middle Eastern country, Dubai.
Yes, a great question and very
Oh,
interesting one. I will first share a global one. Never make your prospect feel bad or never make them be wrong, because their perspective is right. So if they tell you, I don't have enough money or it's expensive, this is how they see it. And you say, I respect that. So if you're selling a product, what's your budget? Maybe we can find another solution with you. Or how can we make this work for you? So never make them feel wrong. So many people are trying to use this technique, coming to you, approaching you on social media, saying, oh, your page doesn't have followers. So they're making you feel bad, and they want to sell you how they're going to make you feel better. For me, that doesn't work. Like, you have to build that rapport and understand that from their perspective, they're always right. And then if you have to shift the perspective, and like I said, position as an authority, definitely. When it comes to culture difference, yes, Dr. Julie.
yeah. Oh, I was going to say, let's hold that second one for, we'll come back and have a quick break from our sponsors, and then we'll hear more from Nevena, because we want to know what we need to do differently.
Wait, you want some more? Wait, you want some more? Okay. Wait, you want some more? Wait, you want some more?
And we're back with the What to Say TV show, and we're talking about cultural differences between how you sell based on, the global world that we're now living in. So go ahead, Nevada, tell us the second thing. How do we differently sell from, a country, that Middle Eastern country like you living in Dubai, and the United States? So different. Oh my goodness, so different.
Absolutely. I would just say Dubai is probably the most diverse place right now in the world. And I'm so grateful to be here because I learned so much about cultures and communicating with other cultures. There are different things with local in GCC in the Gulf, for example. Out of respect, men don't shake hands with women. So they will feel they're insulting you, and in the case you have a husband, if they're shaking hands with you. So it's very important to understand that in America that would be disrespect. Why you're not shaking hands with me? And you have to respect that. You have to respect the space. Right, there's some cultures that are taking too much space, and I would definitely say speaking directly with many people, because when we have that language barrier, the more clear you are and even shorter the message, the easier for them. Because I learned the long, especially written text message, intimidates people to read. So sometimes short message, very direct, they answer and you have quicker rapport than talking a lot, because that's not their first native language.
Now, I know that especially in email communication, it's always important, and this is something I've learned, and I think I'm still learning, is you address one item per one email, because that way you stay focused, you stay to the topic. You may have 6 questions, but don't put 6 questions in an email, because people will read the first one, maybe read the second one, respond to one, and you'll be left holding the bag for the other 4. So would you say that that is something similar to what you would do in other cultures? I know that in America we just we just pour it all out, which I think is really wrong. Um,
Definitely. I would say you have to first establish, okay, this is the first step. Are we doing this? Okay, the second step is, what do you think about this? So I always like to kind of strategize and get approval for each step before I give them the next one. I found that to be much easier to communicate. And I would say, don't assume anything. Very often we are assuming you understand what they're thinking or wanting. So you have to, or they were saying the words that are not very clear. So we have to ask them what this exactly means. What do you mean by this? To clarify that word, and they would say, oh no, I'm thinking about this.
exactly. It's so important to make sure that you were heard and make sure that you're understood. So, and I think that's the mark of a good salesperson. I would say the other thing would be what I call situational awareness. And situational awareness is knowing when to shift gears, knowing when to change up what you're saying or doing. Have you ever had a situation where you've needed to do that? And can you tell us a little bit about it?
So definitely, it's sometimes we are in uncomfortable situation. I would say, especially as a woman with different cultures, you have to put a boundary, and you have to sometimes not be very approachable, because it can be interpreted as very welcoming. And in many different cultures in Asia, Middle East, if you are very open like European or maybe American, this can be interpreted as, oh, they are way too open. So it's very important to learn to set boundaries. And I was definitely in many situations like that. So I had to learn to communicate differently and put a distance to position myself strictly professionally.
And I would say that there probably are, especially between the women and men communication, there's a lot of incidences where things could be taken incorrectly based on your body language, your smile, your this, because you're obviously you're beautiful and you're very outgoing and you have a great smile, and it must be very difficult, especially in in cultures in Middle East and especially Middle East, is because it is not perceived the same way. We as a meaning me as an American, it's all about being happy and being outgoing and being approachable, and we put ourselves out there, and here we are. And yet in other cultures it's so inappropriate. So can you talk a little bit about when you're doing a sales call for the very first time, with a new person, because the new prospects are always where you make or break it, at least I think so. How do you figure that out? What do you how do you how do you change yourself and your body language and your communication to reflect what you need to without overstepping boundaries? Because that's the biggie right there. That's one of the negatives.
Absolutely. I think it's very important. First step in every sales call or sales meeting is something I call frame. So there are 5 steps that I teach and train on. But first one is setting a frame. And frame is simply in 1 or 2 minutes, tell the person what's expected on the call. This is very important in order to close the sale. This way, it doesn't even matter about culture difference, but for person to expect and know you're going to be making an offer at the end and offering them something. Sometimes people come and they just want to get some information from you, but you have to be very direct and say, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to ask you several questions, for example, to get this information. I'm going to help you with certain things, tell you the next steps, and then I'm going to tell you how we can work together. Does this sound good? So the person has to approve on that. When we set that as a frame, it's very clear in cultural context, in female male context, that you're very professional, and it doesn't matter in a sales context. Person know what to expect and they're agreeing to it, so they cannot be shocked that you're making an offer, right?
Exactly. And we're going to take a brief break and we're going to figure out the rest of those steps because I'm writing them down. I hope you are all out there as well. And we'll be right back with another commercial break. And we're back to hear those steps because we want to know what to do, what not to do. So, Nevena, your first one was excellent. Next one.
So when you're doing a sales call, first step is a frame. Second step is adding is discovery. Sorry. So discovery means you have to understand why the person is there today talking with you, what problems they have, what are they're looking for as a solution. Even if you're selling a product or a service, a cream or a food, whatever it is, you have to discover why they're there and what are some struggles you have. You're gonna get fascinating information. Third step is adding value. When they shared something, like Dr. Julie says in communication, giving and receiving, when you share something, you also now have to give back. So they shared with you, you're now giving back. So you're building that rapport. Okay. Do you want me to go on, Dr.
Yeah,
Julie?
oh,
Share two
absolutely.
more
But and you know,
secrets?
let me stop you right there because that is part of the reciprocity rule. If you know anything about how give and take reciprocity, when you're given something, you feel obligated to give back. So that's a real Robert Cialdini did a whole book called Influence, and it was a fascinating book about how people influence or sell each other, and you just hit on the first one. So good for you. That was all by yourself. So go ahead and tell
Thank
me some
you.
more. I'm real. This is good. This is great. Great stuff.
Yes, and then we have to make an offer. So once we gave a value, we have to make an offer to a person, either offer them our product or service. If you are not making an offer, and then that's step 4, and step 5, close them. Like tell them how much it costs, what are the options, what's the payment plans, whatever it is. If you don't make an offer, then you cannot sell. And I'm just going to say this is one of the biggest mistakes people do. They come on a call, they're building rapport, but they're so uncomfortable to say how much it costs, what's the offer, because they haven't set the frame. They haven't prepared the person that's going to happen.
Mhm.
So we have to follow that schedule. Then it creates the dynamic. And there's so much into it. I trained for days on sales, but this is just the first couple of steps for you
Yeah,
to understand it.
that's okay because salespeople spend their lives learning sales, practicing sales, developing their skills. And it's not something you just, turn on, turn off. I mean, obviously there's a few people that have that just innate ability, but not everybody. And most people do not, and they need to really step up their game in their sales. I want to talk a little bit about closing. Closing is one of the hardest things for a lot of people. And I know I have a couple of clients, a couple of associates that really say they're really hard. And most of the people that are having difficulty closing are those people that have things like a coaching program, those people that are in the health sciences area, which is not your area expertise. But I really think it's important that you tell them that it's the same across the board. I don't care what you're selling, it's the same process. So let's talk a little bit again about closing. What are the basic things you gotta have in order to close, besides your frame and besides
Absolutely.
some of the other things?
Yes. And like you said, it's the same across the whole industry. Closing is closing. Now, first thing is you have to really feel confident about the things you're selling and you have to offer them. Like I said, first mistake, people don't even offer. So if you're not offer, if you're not feeling confident, people will not feel confident buying. Second thing is whole in closing, and I would say one of the biggest mistake, people are not prepared for objections, and you're gonna have objections. So you have to know what you say. And I love what you said, that sales is actually a skill, which means you can train yourself. Even if you are really bad right now, you can become the best seller in the world because you can train yourself and learn what to say and how to deal with those things. So I would say, like I mentioned, is knowing your product, being confident and making the offer. And then you have to learn how to deal with objections. And the last thing with closing, you have to be direct. Are we doing this or we are not doing this? If that makes sense. Are
Oh,
we
yeah.
going to purchase this or not?
Because
And
yeah,
what's
you really,
stopping you?
yeah, but the
Yes,
thing is you want to make sure that you're heard and you're understood, number one, for at least for me. And then the second thing is, if the person says no, that's okay, because then you can find out why they said okay, which may be an objection if you didn't handle. And then the second part of it is, if they say no and you've handled all the objections, it may be time for you to move on because it's not the right time for them right now. It doesn't mean
absolutely.
forever, it means right now. So again, I think your idea of keeping in touch with the people and remembering special things about them and those kind of things help people so much. It's super important. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back with our final segment, and we're going to wrap up some of these ideas of coaching and getting your sales in line for better, improved business success with Nevena. So thanks so much, and we'll be right back. And we're back with the What to Say TV show. And Nevena, we are talking a lot about sales. What do you think your personal secret sauce to sales success? Oh, if I said that a couple times, alliteration is my thing. So what do you think? What do you think yours
I
is?
would definitely say good communication, very clear communication. And my personality, everyone brings their own personality, but I don't feel uncomfortable. I don't ever feel I am under certain people, no matter how many millions and billions they have. I know what I bring to the table, and I understood that even the richest person in the world needs help with something. They need someone to add value to them. So if I'm selling something, I'm always thinking I'm adding value. I'm there to build a relationship. I'm absolutely fine with them saying yes or no. And I'm very honest. I am very honest in whatever I'm selling. I tell always pros and cons, what works, what doesn't work, what's happening, and some things that people don't want to talk about that sometimes shock people. And I said, well, this is also the information, and that helps people build trust in me. And the trust and relationship is key for sales.
Yeah, okay. And what do you think that is the greatest thing that a salesperson can do after the sale? Because the sale is just, one, maybe.
Yes, absolutely. We want to people buy from us. So you have to have a very clear follow-up systems. So one of the success in sales, and I'm going to share in the future in some of the episodes, some of the deals I closed because I remember some small things about people. I always memorize names even when I meet people for first time. I write down birthdays. I send them happy birthdays. I do really small things, and it made a big difference because sometimes people are just surprised nobody else is doing that. So
Mhm.
building that relationship after the sale, keeping the relationship going, and having that follow-up system is the key for your business to stay relevant and get more referrals and introductions because they will help you scale your business very quickly.
Yeah, that sounds like a really great, a great plan. And you have a coaching program that you do with people. Can you just give us just a very short smattering of some of the things? I mean, we've already talked about mindset, and we've talked a little bit about developing rapport and the closing. We talked a little bit about those. Is there anything else that you offer in that program that helps people really succeed really well? Because it's a topic for,
Absolutely.
it's obviously a topic for discussion for people trying to figure out, oh, do I need sales? Do I not need sales? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
If you're indecisive, I would say you definitely need it. So you need to make a strong
Good
decision
answer. I
first.
like that. Good answer.
Yes. Yeah, so I do individualized program, working one-to-one consulting and coaching, one-to-one leaders and business owners, entrepreneurs for companies we customize based on what we see they need. I would definitely say you can expect a lot about branding. Building a strong brand is very important to get more sales. Understanding organic marketing. I'm someone who always focuses on organic marketing because believe in building relationship. And then in that sales training, like I said, we have the mindset part, we have the actual strategy of prospecting. How and where will you get a prospect? How do you make everything into a system so you know every day what action to take to get clients? And then becomes a numbers game because you understand if I
Right.
prospect to 100 people this way, I'm getting this many customers. So we want to simplify everything, build systems around, and you're very clear what needs to be done for you to get the results you want.
Yeah, that is absolutely so true. Devana, as we wrap up a little bit, what kinds of things, as far as social media and addresses and things for the people that are listening that want to get in touch with you, feel free to give a little quick plug over how they might get connect with you to talk to you further to wait for that close.
Absolutely. So I'm going to quickly spell for those listening just the audio
Yes,
so you
that
can find me.
spell that. Yes, definitely spell.
Yes. I'm gonna spell my name. So I'm present in all social media platforms. It's Nevena Bazalac. Nevena Bazalac. My company name that I run and manage when it comes to consultancy, business consultancy, it's Lake Consulting. www.lakeconsulting.org. So you can find us there. I have books, so many books to give you as value. I have courses that you can download for free and watch, and we paid courses, programs, podcast as well that you can listen, get a lot of value. So I'm here for you. Reach out anytime.
Super, Nirvana. That is so helpful. And for those of you in America, that word Z that she used is a Z. So it is so just so you know,
I
and
apologize.
no, that's fine because I correct that all the time. So don't worry about it. And the second thing is that her consulting firm is Lake, as in pond, Lake Consulting. So just so you know. And A special thanks to this episode's guest, Nevena. I really appreciate you. You've told us a lot of things about sales, and we're going to learn some more. We might have you back on at some point to talk in a higher level, but we all have to start from the same level of knowledge. So thanks for tuning into my show, courtesy of Mupo TV, where you can catch so many other great shows with professional actors, actresses, and including the What to Say TV show, because we're on Mupo TV. You can contact me through DrJuleeHafner.com. I'm on every social media, I think, but you never know because there's tons of them there. And if you are interested in becoming a better communicator, a more confident speaker, or a stronger leader, this show will be important to you, or connecting with me. So find this show, watch all the previous episodes, and remember, good communication is connection. I'm your host, Dr. Julie, helping you know what to say. See you next time, and thanks a bunch. That concludes our show for today. Thank you so much for watching, and don't miss our next episode. Remember to subscribe to our channel, and see you next time on the What to Say TV show right here on Mupo Entertainment.
Show the skill for your success. Top professionals call her to gain impact and speak confidently. She has shared the stage with serial entrepreneurs from JT Fox and George Ross to celebrities like Vanilla Ice and Jillian Michaels. Let Dr. Julie bring power to your business relationships.